How do you measure your learning and development efforts, and how do you communicate the results of your work to the management? I'm talking about CEO or GM. It's not as straightforward as you may think. This video, I want to share with you the L&D metrics available to you on a bigger scale and on a longer scale. Let's say on a quarter or even year level. Also, how do you measure L&D initiatives is a very common question on L&D interview, like 99% you will be asked. That's what this video is about. If you are new to this channel, my name is Liza and I create videos I wish existed when I was starting out in learning and development industry. So this is my second video about measuring learning and development. If you haven't watched the first one, you wanna do that. That video talks about measuring single training and development initiatives. When I look at learning and development metrics, I would personally divide them into three categories: transactional metrics, business metrics, and organizational people metrics. Let's start with transactional metrics. Transactional metrics are number of trainings delivered, number of employees trained, training completion rates, learning hours per employee or per department, attendance rate, percentage of employees trained against the headcount. These metrics show that learning and development department was doing its job, not just sitting in the office. By the way, many times L&D is a one-man show, especially if your company has less than 400 employees or fewer, based on my experience. I would also add online learning metrics such as engagement rate that can include likes, shares, recommendations, comments, etc. Course completion rate, dropout rate, learning path progression. For all the metrics I mentioned, you can easily find them online or just ask AI of your choice. I would also add theme or topics of learning to transactional metrics. For example, what percentage of all L&D initiatives focused on product knowledge, safety, compliance, digital literacy, soft skills, and so on. Transactional metrics are important to record and track whether you are using LMS or Excel. The thing is, when you show these metrics to CEO or CFO, they are going to ask a follow-up question. So what? All this data looks great. It looks like you guys in L&D have been keeping yourself busy. The next thing that they would want to know is how all of this has impacted the business. What does it mean for bottom line? What does it mean for the company overall? This is where business metrics come into place. This is where you need to start answering the question, so what? To answer the question, you need to know what is happening in the company. Has the company sold more products, offered more services? Have the sales went up? Talk about how L&D supported that. Maybe you did sales training or negotiation skills program. Has the customer satisfaction score went up? Great. How L&D supported it? Maybe there was an extensive product knowledge training on communication skills or emotional intelligence. Has the company opened new locations, stores, or offices in different countries? How L&D has supported that? How many employees were promoted or offered new roles within the company in new locations? This may tell you how strong your skills and leadership development programs are. What was the revenue per employee this year compared to last year? Look back at new trends, systems, or solution. How has L&D supported adaptation? Maybe you have mass-trained employees on how to use AI tools or any new software that company has purchased. Remember that business spends money on systems because systems are supposed to save our time and improve our productivity. What about legal cases? HSE incidents, have they decreased or remained the same? Remember that in L&D, same as in any other job role, there are things that in your control and there are things that outside of your control. So when you present your results, Talk about your efforts. You know, many times we don't really know how the effort that we put, how it's going to translate in the results, but talk about your intention, and that your intention was to support a specific business metric or initiative. All right, now let's have a look at overall organizational people metrics. First metric that you want to focus on is performance evaluation metrics. Different organizations do performance management differently. Some do it once a year, some do it on quarterly basis. Really, it depends on the company. What percentage of employees are performing at the expected level? What percentage of employees are low performers? And what percentage are high performance? How L&D supports those employees who are underperforming? How that percentage compared to last year? What percentage are high-performing employees? Are we able to retain them? How we can support their development and full utilization of their potential? In my opinion, employee performance is the most important metric to be measured in L&D. If you think the role of L&D in any organization, L&D is there to support business growth through people development. How do we do it? On-the-job training, formal training, online learning, mentoring, leadership and supervisory development programs, job rotations, stretch assignment, and so on. Our role is to improve people's skills, including both hard skills and soft skills, so that they can perform better on the job. The second one is internal promotion rate. How many employees have been promoted within the company? How many roles have been filled internally? The next one is have a look at employee turnover rate. How is it compared to last year or quarter? How was L&D able to support decreasing employee turnover? Maybe you held career development workshops. Maybe you work closely with your leadership team to create a culture where each employee feels important and part of something bigger than themselves. Next is employee engagement rate. Employee engagement rate, it's a survey, it's a questionnaire that is distributed to all employees to gather their feedback on various aspects of their job and the workplace. This survey usually includes job satisfaction, work environment, recognition and reward, communication, and professional development. Usually the reports are very detailed and you can dig deeper in each area. If there is increase, see how L&D initiatives might have supported that. Next is employee probation passing rate. What is the percentage of new employees who pass the probation period? This metric isn't only with talent acquisition team. A low probation passing rate may also mean that departmental leaders and supervisors are missing onboarding and on-the-job training skills. That usually falls under learning and development. Overall, I would look at organizational people metrics on year-to-year basis. So this is how I would look at learning and development metrics and how you communicate your activities and results to the business. In my work experience, I have seen that there is a trend of focusing too much on the transactional metrics and under communicating the business metrics and specifically how L&D supports the business. Maybe it's time to review your L&D reports or dashboard and see what information you share there. Remember that you always want to position yourself as a strategic business partner. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you need help with your learning and development career, you can always reach out to me on Instagram or just send an email and we will see what is the best way for us to work together. Hope you're having adventures and following your dreams. Bye for now.